It is time. We've had a problem for a while now. It's time to address it. Ew. This road that Rome would scoff at, and probably kill me for. Pompeii still has roads after being thrown up on by a volcano. And what do I have? Shame. I have shame, Brutus. I've been calculating and deducting and theorizing, and I have reached a conclusion. I am what caused the problem to begin with, yes, but I am also the solution. Both attempts at this road were done freehand, no planning whatsoever. Something I'm usually too scared to do, and this experience just validates that fear. We tried growing as a person, and look where that got us. So we're never doing that ever again, we're planning it this time. And first of all, we've got to decide once and for all where we're going with it. Get out of here. This last attempt was not admirable, it was cowardly and weak, and I have no scruples about treating it as such. You deserve a court-martial. Now, I hate to say it, but Shallon was a real help with this because he put me onto the idea of actually looking at the gosh dang map. And after looking at the gosh dang map, I realized that there's really only one good option, and it requires putting in effort, which luckily I am ready and willing to put in for once. We're going to flip this curve and copy it, which takes care of like half of the figuring it out part, and is really the only place it would make sense for our road to enter it, honestly. I just didn't want to concede it before because, alas, there are ops. If we do this and continue our current downward trajectory, as I would like to, we've got to dissolve a mountain. And at this point, again, I am considering if roads are really worth it. Am I being peer pressured by the government? Are they just saying I need roads so that they can make me pay taxes? They say roads are fun, but all they've brought me is strife. Anyway, let's flip this turn. Alright, so how we do this is just follow what he has given us in the opposite direction. So this outer turn following this edge, and the inner turn following that one. This is definitely something that I didn't need to redo because the fact that the curves were different so as to actually achieve the curves didn't clock on me until I had done it wrong. Definitely not a successful flip-flopping. And look, I know that bit and all of this may seem painfully obvious. That's fair. You have free rein to berate me. However, please keep in mind that this is the first time I have dealt in roads. I usually prefer paths, or cookie crumbs, or a bit of cloth conveniently ripped off of a cloak is my wayfinding. This is a brand new experience for me. I'm like a baby with access to a concrete truck. I may fumble, yes, but I'm a baby. Driving a concrete truck. We're lucky I'm not dead, and I have to suffer through this you're suffering with me. We've got one part done already, look at us go. And now you're gone. You were detestable. And though I loathe to follow Doolin in any capacity, I loathe this road more. So we will be taking it completely out and redoing it. My reasoning is that I just really tried doing too much. Going from a straight road out into a bump and down and around a curve in the opposite direction, maybe a walk in the park to some, but I was a baby without even a protractor at that point, so it's just gross. I think it will look much cleaner if we just get rid of the bump out that way altogether, like this. And then down here we'll have a tighter curve instead of whatever this is. Shoo. Evaporate. And the biggest win we're gonna get out of this is resolving this sidewalk situation, because honestly, it's been driving me nuts. And finally, after years of struggle, or about 2 to 3 to 4 days in a creative world, we have a connected road all the way down. Well, the plan for it anyway. Can't actually go down yet. But this will guide where we dig along here. And with the wisdom gleaned from my experience flipping Enigma's curve, I was able to create my own. That's right. Baby's got an engineering degree. We've got a lot of removal to do though, and I was almost gonna say, heck it, tunnel. But I feel like a tunnel that's big enough to go over this road would kind of wreck our scale a little bit and make everything else seem way too small. So we dig. For Narnia. And for the frickin' vibes, mate. Three hours. 3 hours before I broke down and built a beacon. I'm even the problem to my problem solution. Ave Maria. You know what? I'm proud of us. But me specifically, because I did the work. We did it. We learned a valuable lesson here today. And the lesson I learned was that it actually wasn't that hard. If I just put the effort in to figure it out in creative like everything else from the beginning, I could have saved myself about 6 to 36 hours of heartbreak and mania. But Sulavu. Don't look at that. Once we had the shape, figuring out the downward slope was just a matter of doing some backing up, seeing how it was looking, doing that about 27 times, and this was a majority of the time spent in the creative world, aside from figuring out the shape initially. Which, you may notice, on our curve, the slope halts. Slonope, if you will. This is because it was already hard enough. Do you want me to suffer more? The sidewalk on this side stops right here for multiple reasons. It won't always be like this. But the road we went into was exactly the width of our road plus 1 sidewalk, and we really don't need 2 going down there. But also, at some point, once we figure out where Silver is going with his road, we'll be branching off in that direction and take this sidewalk along with it. We probably will put a few more of these in as well, but the ones up here I did just to make sure I liked, and I do. These look substantially better on this road than the other one, and we split them up according to where I think we'll put a crosswalk in. Obviously, I didn't texture it yet. Definitely didn't texture that yet, but it's down. It exists. And I don't revile it this time. This is enough. I will admit, there were times when I was so close to hiring Doolin to figure it out for me. He's redone his, 6, 7 times now? He could have probably done it in his sleep. But no, I needed this. I needed to vanquish this opponent face to face. And I did. We grew. We grew by not growing. We uprooted ourselves, shimmied slightly, and then planted again. What I'm saying is that we did not grow in the way we wanted to, but we grew in the way we needed to. We need to move on. I did say we'd start working on our Central Park here last time. We can do some of this. All of it would be too big of a project to subject myself to after the rigmarole of roadage we just went on, but we can pick away at some things. For one, I think it's finally time to let go of the last vestiges of mushroom forest that have been clinging on for dear life. Can you hear them screaming? It's like music. Okay, went ahead and terraformed this out as well. I simply cannot escape the dirt. I secrete it from my pores at this point. There is no sweat anymore. Just sludge. Only sludge. But now we're gonna figure out how to connect the paths around here. Hi. Bye. Heck you too. It's for rent if you want it. Right now we have this path over here, and then this one over there. I really still don't know what we're gonna do with this area. We might make it part of the park. Maybe. I left the gap here just so we could see this side of the building. That's it. No other reason. And this is the second time I've done this, because being able to see this side of the building is why I made this tiny thing here. I can't keep doing this. It's not that good. I'm kidding. I love you. Hang in there, champ. But what I don't love is the buildings around it, you know. Even though I can see this part, I can also see that. And, well, we'll think on it. And along with doing the paths, I think we'll throw in a couple trees somewhere. You know, now that we have room from getting rid of all those pesky trees. Oh wow, a shape. Ingenious. Resourceful. Stunning. What do you want me to say? It's not a parallelogram, it's not a rhombus, it's not even a rectangle. It's some fourth worse thing. But it fits in the area and attaches where we needed it to for this building, while still leaving room for the trees. Speaking of which, voila, more indecency has been covered. As backs go, these weren't terrible as some I could mention. But this still looks much nicer. We've gone with brown stained glass and the 2 bigger ones to hint at changing leaves, and this smaller one just has some more green to fill it out. Man, remember back when I was on the fence about doing this? Wild. It's my baby now. It adds color. It adds fluffiness. It adds shape. Magical and whimsical. Somebody tell Da Vinci about this, he would agree. We've also got our spore blossoms tucked away in there to give us our falling leaves. And said leaves clotting on the ground. The grass had just been looking too happy, you know? And we don't want happy grass. Or trees here. We want grass and trees filled with trepidation, at the inescapable knowledge that their death is approaching and no amount of dread or acceptance will save them from the snow. Trepidation. Sorry. And whilst tree reforming, some ideas for this area formed, so there is hope. I'm on a roll, man, don't stop me. Now, we're going back to the most important part of this town, which is obviously all of the fine dining that the broke uni students get shooed away from with a broom like Victorian urchins lest they scare away the clientele with their dour expressions. We're making another restaurant in the cul-de-sac. I know everyone's been chomping at the bit for this, but no, restaurants are apparently what I default to when I don't really know what I want to build. And I'll be honest, the inspiration has been a wee bit drained lately, so restaurant it is. But I mean, we do need to fill this area with them, so it's not a bad decision. And also, before we can get some things planned on this side, I want to get a few more things established right here, just so we have a good idea of space. So, that sounds like more than enough justification for me. Let's go get the spread, and this ham, and this cheese, and this mayo, and this relish, and let's make the best darn sandwich this town has ever seen. Sandwich. I did do the interior time-lapse. Of course I did. You think I'd miss out on those extra 5 seconds of content? However, the memory ran out and it didn't save, so now I'm just yapping to make up lost time. Plus, a skeleton crawled up from the abyss beneath our feet and killed me during it. And that's embarrassing. So it's no great loss. Here is our newest addition to the town's culinary exploits, and the little squirt to the side that's just there to be filler. Isn't he cute? And useless. Get a job. What are you, 4 hours old? This fella is a bit different than anything else we've got going on, with the deep slate going right into the mud instead of the clear separation that we normally do. And this building was lightly based on this one in Edinburgh, and I saw the slightly grimier bricks on the real one, and ran with it. We got to do my favorite roofs again, the ones that would make it incredibly unlucky to get dropped by a giant condor onto. And around back we've got a little section that's meant to look like it was added on sometime after the original building, hence the lack of deep slate. Making this one of the few buildings in this absolutely raggedy little backwater to be complete on every side. I can explain. Okay, look, when we fill in this area, I do believe this will just kind of be absorbed into the mass of whatever we put here, but until that day we will simply have to deal with the innards being outwards. This is actually an incredibly evocative art installation made for outie belly button solidarity. They wanted it to be in the Louvre, but I denied them and all the acclaim it would give me to bring it here, for you all. I did that for you. I could have had a Louis Benz, a Mercedes baton, a carton of eggs. But aside from the bottomless bloke, this building is great. I like the shape of it, I love all the chimneys, love the overhang, love it. And inside has just some basic seating, and I'm disproportionately proud of this. The banners as menu boards, and of course leaves, because I cannot decorate insides without making them look as much like outside as possible. I have the design sensibilities of a critter drawn by Beatrix Potter. But, oh golly, oh gosh, we're done. Wait, hold. This has been sitting here for 3 weeks. I think it might be a stray. He looked like he bite. Love y'all. Take care. And I'll see you soon. I don't know what I was possibly trying to prove with that. What use is there in not using a beacon? Am I too cool for school? No, I am on the bus. I am sat on the bus. Very comfortably. What was the purpose? What? 3 hours. 3 hours. Do I have your approval, kind sirs? Could I get the opinion of the council? Oh dear.